because they're not on the field getting exploded. The offense has the ball the majority of the freaking game. They're number one in the NFL in time of possession. That is the recipe for winning for the Dallas Cowboys. Chew up the clock, keep the defense on the field, create turnovers, which another excellent job they've been doing on defense. Marinella right now is my coach of the year. Coaching his ass off. Yes, I said that the Dallas Cowboys are a Super Bowl contender. That was another argument that they was making on First Take. Of course, Stephen A. Smith said, hell no, and a lot of other people did. And, I can't blame them because nobody wants to give Dallas Cowboys their credit. The world is in a state of shock right now because Dallas wasn't supposed to be this good. Nobody saw this coming, especially after last season. But Dallas Cowboy fans, we know. Because we remember the year before last how outstanding we were once they stuck to the game plan with running the ball, keeping the defense off the field, making turnovers, not turning the ball over. Zeke Elliott is a freaking monster. Everybody wrote him off week 1 and 2 because he had under 100 yards. He wasn't as patient. They pulled him to the side, told him how to wait on the holes. Once he figured that out, lights out, man. After those 2 games, 140 yards against Chicago, 138 against San Francisco, 134 against Cincinnati, 157 against the number 1 rush defense in the NFL, such as the Green Bay Packers. Elite. I said it on the first podcast. Zeke Elliott is DeMarco Murray, but younger. He blocks. He catches out the backfield. He's faster than DeMarco. And he's just as powerful. Dallas has the recipe. And as long as we stick to the plan, guys, we're going to win. So Dallas Cowboy fans, I say to you, don't be surprised with these victories that we're racking up at this time. They're sticking to the game plan. Now, I don't know what's going to happen when Tony Romo comes back. Jerry's not going to sit him. I feel like it's extremely hard. I'm looking at the rest of the schedule. Guys, we can easily win 12 games, if not 13. We got our bye week. We play Philly. Philly's not looking as dominant as they were. Cleveland, that's a guaranteed victory. Pittsburgh, Big Ben is just now having surgery. Baltimore looks shaky. Washington is playing better. But we have beat Washington already. I don't know if we're going to be able to beat them twice, but it's possible. The week after that, the Minnesota Vikings. That's going to be probably, it may be set up for the game of the year. The New York Giants, again, we owe them. Tampa Bay, that's winnable. Detroit, winnable. And then Philly. Easily 12 games. As long as we stick to the game plan. But that is the key. We have to stick to the game plan. But right now, we got a combination that's lights out, man, with Dak and Zeke. The question of the hour is, when Tony Romo returns, will the chemistry be ruined? Now, Tony Romo has an unprecedented chemistry with Jason Witten, with the offensive line, with Dez Bryant. You see how Dez looked when Tony Romo is throwing on the ball. It's a completely different beast. My fear is, will everybody else get X'd out? Because of his rapport that he has with a Jason Witten, because of the rapport that he has with a Dez. He does have a pretty good rapport with Cole, so I'm comfortable with that. Will Terrence Williams fade away? Will Bryce Butler not get PT? Will we go back to the 2 tight end set to protect Tony Romo, thus taking a Lucky Whitehead off the field? Going to the 2 wide receiver sets and 2 tight ends. What's going to happen? Will the tempo speed up a little bit? Because if you think about it, guys, right now the coaches They're coaching their ass off. They are calling legitimate plays. Linehan is coaching. But with Romo in the game, they don't really do nothing because they sit back and they know, hey, Tony got this. And Tony coming into 2014, Tony pretty much was the offensive coordinator. He was calling all the plays. So will they go back to calling plays for Tony Romo? Will they let Tony take over? If Tony speeds up the offense, we start scoring a whole lot more points, but then our defense is on the field a whole lot more. And yes, our defense has been doing pretty good, but guys, we really don't have a pass rush. Even though in the Green Bay game, and I think that was part of the game plan, was not to rush Aaron Rodgers because he could take off and just keep him in the pocket and contain the receivers on the outside, which I thought they did an excellent job. That's another thing. Our cornerbacks has been very impressive. Our number one cornerback hasn't even played. Scandrick. I think he played week 1, got hurt, hasn't came back in the game. Mo Claiborne, my hat goes off to you, sir. That guy has stepped up tremendously. I know he went down the last game with a concussion. I hope he's okay. Cartwright's out there, and they're on the island. Dallas play a lot of one-on-one defense. Barry Church is stepping it up. I know I was pretty hard on Will Cox, and I still am, but he's looking better. Jones is out there looking like a excellent decision back there at safety. But with Tony Romo coming back on the field, will that speed up the offense? Will that cause the defense to come on the field more? And with a small pass rush, I don't know if that's a good idea. The defense is improving, but man, could you imagine this defense if Gregory was on the field? If we had a McClain at the middle linebacker? If Scandrick was actually out there with Claiborne, with Carr? Now, rookie cornerback out of Purdue is balling right now. I think his name is Brown. If that's not his name, I do apologize. I don't do this show with notes. I barely research. I should do a better job, but most of this is straight off the memory. I mean, literally, the rest of the schedule, the scores, all in my head. Just I would maybe a God-given ability. Maybe next show I'll do a little bit more research and have a little bit more statistics for you guys. But Dallas Cowboys fans, man, keep your head up. Be proud of this team. Wear your jerseys. Go buy a Zeke jersey. Go buy a Dak jersey. Wear it around every day this week. If you got a dress code at work, put the jersey around your neck. This is a moment for us to be proud. We were getting spit on, stepped on. Nobody thought we would be here. They were already crowning Philly and Wentz after 2 games. Philly is the best team in the NFC East. Who's going to stop them? Before it was the New York Giants. New York has the best quarterback in the NFC East. Who's going to stop them? They beat us by 1 freaking point because Terrence Williams had his mind on Sesame Street or something like that. Think about it. If Terrence Williams would have went out of bounds, and we do have one of the best field goal kickers in the NFL, if not NFL history, and Bailey, you can fact check me on that. Possible he could have hit that field goal. We would be undefeated going into the bye. The Dallas Cowboys with a rookie quarterback, with a rookie running back, with a suspect defense, with a coach that's very questionable, could be undefeated. Who would have thought it? I'm not going to sit up here and say that I did, because I didn't. But the fact of the matter is, we are 5-1, and we are absolutely the best team in the NFC East right now because of that offensive line dominating people. Before the week, all I was hearing was how Green Bay has his number 1 rush defense, and this is the test. It's a test for us every freaking week. We lost to New York with the same old Dallas Cowboys. We turn around, we play Washington, we beat Washington. That was luck. That was just bad quarterback play. We beat the Bears. Well, they supposed to beat Chicago. Chicago scraps. Let's see what happened when they go up to San Francisco. Who was garbage? How dare you disrespect us? We were down 14-0. Game was over in most of you guys' eyes. I think we was down 17-0 as a matter of fact. Defense stepped up. San Francisco didn't score again. We scored 24 unanswered. Cincinnati was supposed to be the real test. That's because that's a real team. That's a real defense. Killed them. 28-14. Well, Green Bay has the number one rush defense in the league. They have Aaron Rodgers. He's a bad man. That's all I heard. Aaron Rodgers. 30-16 Dallas Cowboys. Excuse the free publication there. Sometimes they just slide right in. But anyways, all I'm saying to you Dallas Cowboy fans, and this next show is going to be a little bit more in depth. I just really wanted to share my opinion and share the love and share the pride that I have with all of Cowboy Nation at this time. Stand up, rally. I'm not going to sit up here and say this is our year because I don't know what team we're going to look like when Romo comes back. Could be completely different. Only because Tony Romo is the offensive coordinator. But, guys, don't discredit Tony Romo like Blaine Gabbert is coming into the game. Let's not sit up here and say it's a Drew Bledsoe, Tom Brady situation. Bledsoe didn't have a year like Tony Romo had that year. Tony Romo still has something in the tank. You just got to keep him on his feet. But if you continue to pound the rock, we haven't even got McFadden back. Zeke is doing all this by himself. Imagine when we actually give Zeke a little breather with the Morris and a McFadden. Come on, guys. We got the recipe. We just got to stick to it. I urge the Dallas Cowboy organization, man, don't change the recipe. Don't add too much salt. Don't throw in that extra stick of butter. Stick to the recipe, and I guarantee the outcome is going to be delicious. That's all I got today, guys. It's been enough with the BS Podcast, Dallas Cowboy Edition. Cowboy Nation, stand up. Look at that schedule, guys. Easily 12 wins. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. That's pretty much all I got. Once again, check out our podcast on iTunes, iHeartRadio. That's Enough with the BS Podcast. You can also go to Spreaker.com. We're on there as well. All three outlets are free. We don't charge you anything, nothing. We have some excellent shows. If you're not familiar with me or my co-host Josh Smith, basically Enough with the BS Podcast is a show where we talk about nothing but sports, but we also ram into other topics. I have a show called Be Like Martin or Be Like Mike. Excellent show. We did one on Muhammad Ali, Pat Summitt. Pretty much anything you can think about that could be controversial that you don't hear in sports. Oh, we're going to talk about it and share it with you. And I will love your opinion. That's podcastingbs@gmail.com. Follow me on Twitter. That's BS Podcast 864 because I'm out of Greenville, South Carolina. Greenville. Hope everybody doing all right. All my Texas listeners, I love you guys. My last show, you guys dominated the ratings. I appreciate it. But that's all I got. It's been enough with the BS Podcast, Dallas Cowboy Edition. I'm out.